If a man has a healthy understanding that women are children and you are not in this adversarial back and forth with an adult, you're in this back and forth with a 7-year-old. So imagine you having a daughter and your daughter comes up and says, you broke, you're this and that. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? What do you want? Come here. Why are you so mad? You're literally going to comfort her because you mad about something. You're not mad at me. What's really bothering you? And you're actually going to comfort her. The same thing with your lady. When she started talking all kinds of crazy stuff or whatever, she's not mad at you. You triggered her and she's now in regression and she's literally talking to her mother or her father. And she's a 7-year-old child in regression. So all she really wants is for you to be like, you know what? Come here. What's going on? Talk to me. She doesn't want to argue. She wants attention. She wants to be heard. She wants to feel safe.
Let's talk about men and the society infantilizing women. Men treating we women as if we are naive, we are overly emotional, we are incapable, or we are childlike. We can't reason for ourselves. They often do this under the guise of protection, leadership, or even guidance. This behavior can come off as them being caring, sweet, can be subtle, it can be overt. But this behavior is rooted in patriarchal attitude. It is basically men thinking that women are inherently less competent than they are.
I was raised to relate to my husband as if he was my parent, more specifically as if he was my father. And this husband daddy would be the most important person of my life, and I would have to structure my life around his wants, needs, and desires. This was never explicitly stated by my parents, but it was explicitly stated in all of the books on our shelves. This husband daddy figure basically was developed by John Piper, C.J. Mahaney and his wife Carolyn, Doug Wilson and his wife Nancy Wilson, Michael Pearl and Debbie Pearl, Nancy Campbell, Jenny Chansey, Doug Phillips, etc., etc., etc. Because under patriarchy and complementarianism, women are subject to men. And so if you are still a daughter in the home, the man in your life is your father. And then when you get married, your father transfers authority of you to your husband. And so this husband daddy figure after you get married, is your husband. And you don't relate to him as an equal. You relate to him as if he is above you. I did not realize how deeply ingrained this misogyny was, within myself until I got married. And after a couple of years of marriage, 2 or 3 years of marriage, my husband said, please stop telling me where you were going when you leave the house. Because up to that point, every time I left to go somewhere, I would give him the rundown. And what he said was, you're an adult. You don't need to ask permission. You can just leave the house. Plus, we share locations with each other. If I need something from you, I'll text you and ask. I didn't even realize how much I had been relating to my own husband as if he was my parent, someone that I needed to ask permission from. And so when I see this comment about church women convincing their husbands to have a night out with friends, it just affirms to me that Christian women have been so infantilized that we are treated like children. Even when we get married, we are expected to basically obey our husband daddy. And that should infuriate all of us.
The purpose of the infantilization of women by men is for men to make women depend on them for everything, for them to make women very obedient, very soft, and dependent. In addition to that, they use infantilization to systemically segregate women. Women have been segregated in so many ways, be it at work, the payment, not the same, politics, culture, education, in so many ways in the society. Gender role is also part of the segregation.
Princess treatment is infantilization of women. It's not treating them as princesses, it's treating them as little girls. Telling them that they shouldn't worry about things that they should actually worry about. Because being an adult means you worry about bills. You know how to pay bills. You understand there's bills to be paid. Because adulthood comes with responsibilities and also the great privilege of being responsible for yourself, which means you have choices. But women have been taught to give those adult-like responsibilities, their agency, to a man, under the pretense of that man taking care of them. So they're going to be treated like princesses because they're going to be given the things that they could just have by being adults, right? So it's time to be a little bit more careful as to how we're using the terms that we're using and the ideas we have of what it's like to be taken care of or provided for, outside of the themes that are reminding us that men like it better when we are little girls, when we act like little girls, when we look like little girls, when we need them like little girls need their daddy. And so that's problematic, right? So beyond thinking, oh, the man is supposed to provide and all of that, when a grown woman gets on here and says, I don't know how to pay a bill, I'm a little princess, I don't even know what bills are, that's not safe. Because when we surrender our entire well-being onto a man without having our own bank account, our own finances in order, our own means to make money or increase our income or whatever, if we're not financially literate, that means that whoever is taking care of our livelihood can withdraw that care when we're no longer complying in the way that they want us to. And then what do? We're going to have to grow up when we're 40, 50, 60, 70, or we will even stay because we can't make it on our own, right? So princess treatment as such, being treated like a little princess, is problematic. You want to be treated like a grown woman. You want to be respected. You want to be taken care of. But within environments that seem like they view you as a grown adult woman and not a little child that is agencyless and they'd have to take care of you because you can't do it on your own. And they find that to be absolutely cute.
Men are happy when women depend on them financially and otherwise. They are happy when women look up to them for everything, but they are upset when they see a woman working so hard, making her own money and living her own life. They are not happy when they see things like that. They feel triggered and intimidated when women are independent financially. And their next line of action with the mindset of breaking that woman down, insulting her, is to tag her masculine. Men call boss women, boss ladies, masculine. Men call independent, successful ladies masculine. They don't like it. The word masculinity is used because those women have decided to do what men were supposed to do for them, what the society told them that men are supposed to do. But those women have decided to do it for themselves and not wait for any man to do that for them.
She is independent and she pays her own bills and she takes care of herself.
Then she's an average adult. Dude, our society needs to stop treating women like children deserving of admiration for accomplishing the most trivial of tasks. You wanted the patriarchy to be ended so bad, and now here's the consequence. You're not a child, you're an adult. Congratulations to adulthood. That is so tough.
Most men don't like strong women like this. It's
I'm intimidating for sure.
I'm an alpha, so when I talk to you and you told me that and you're alpha.
Hold up, you said you're an alpha?
I'm an alpha male for sure. It's a
You know that's not a real thing, right?
There's alpha animals.
You know that study they did was based off of like a family of wolves, not a real thing, right?
So you got a PhD in this? Do tell.
You want to look it up?
If you're gonna have facts, you just gotta have a little thing behind that. I'm just talking professionally. You
Alpha
look it
male
up.
study. The term alpha male is outdated and inaccurate. A study has shown wolf packs are more family-oriented, dominated by a
Has
single
there
mate.
been another study since then?
Yeah, and it was disproven.
We are the first generation of women who can live like men. Our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers never had this choice before. Assuming you're not from generational wealth where being a spinster is totally economically viable for you with a trust fund. But the average woman today has the opportunity and access to resources that only men have had access to. We're not bound to anyone in order to survive. You make your own money, you can travel on your own, you can live in your own place, you can drive your own car. Literally, 1 or 2 generations. That's all it took for us to get here. We're free. Don't let anyone stop you from doing what you want to do. Have the confidence of a mediocre man. And enjoy your life and do everything possible.
Let's talk about how hypersexual a lot of men are. Some men are just preoccupied with sexual thoughts, be it at work, be it in the gym, be it in the store. They are thinking of sex all the time. I understand that hypersexual trait is linked to some mental health issues. I'm not talking about men with mental health issues. Hypersexualization is very common in our society. There are so many randy men roaming the streets, and this hypersexual behavior leads to infidelity, emotional detachment, or the whole cheating drama we hear about in relationship. Men can't just put it in there and zip it up. They want sex all the time.
This is a message to all the girlies. If you're talking to a dude and he just seems like he can't wait to get you in the bed, like he can't wait, he has no patience for you, and he's like rushing you, don't fall into the trap and give it to him. Because one thing about them dudes that are hypersexual, girl, they'll an animal to get they'll dude to get their shit done. And you would never know how to, like, that's such a red flag to me. If you can't wait, if you mentally just like can't do it, like that's all you think about, that's what you live, eat and breathe, you sleep, eat and breathe, like sex, like those are the type of dudes you gotta stay away from, because those are the type that be in the closet and be done bent many dudes over and was the one getting bent and stuff like that. And you would never know, because they're just so, like, they'll act very masculine just because they feel like, oh, wanting a girl is masculine, but no, it's more to being masculine than wanting sex. Like, so if you got to do it on your line like that, don't talk to him. Leave him alone.
You could meet a man today and give him your number. He'll text you tomorrow and say, good morning. You say, good morning. He'll say, you a freak.
Some men use sex as a coping mechanism. They don't know how to process their emotions. When they are stressed, they want sex. When they feel anxious, they want sex. When they have low self-esteem, they want sex. Any man that lives sex, breathes sex, drinks sex, thinks sex, eats sex, everything about him is sex. Such men should be given a long distance. You should run away from such men, because they have a tendency of cheating. If they're not getting it from you, they will be looking elsewhere. Even when you're giving it to them, they will not be satisfied. I'm not saying that you can satisfy any man, but being in a relationship with a man that is like this is worse. It's a worse case for you to be in.
All right, serious question. Why did this generation go from until death do us part to until I'm dissatisfied, or until I'm angry at you, or until I just get tired?
Because we think we got all these options. You know how many women in my DM right now? Why the compromise on something with you when I could go out here and get a woman who don't care about it? And y'all women got it even worse. Y'all post a story on Instagram, get 100 likes, and consider that motion. Little do y'all know, 98 of them niggas just want to. The two would take you serious. You would never give them the time of day. You think they lame. Our generation is also very selfish. Everything's conditional. Everything's a contract. You provide this, and I'll give you that. You make me feel this good, and I'll make you feel that good. As a man, are you a provider? As a woman, what do you bring to the table? Y'all need to realize y'all need to like these people. Y'all just using them. And the minute that they can't provide what you using them for, you're going to toss them to the curb and find somebody else. We think getting married is a bigger commitment than having kids together. We think sex is a hobby. We think boundaries are controlling. We think correction is hate. Our generation also thinks that healthiness means perfection. So I know that y'all been good. I know that he done sacrificed a lot for you. But the minute that he don't make you feel special, the minute that you don't feel as loved as you used to feel, he ain't the one. You should leave. Go find somebody else. Yeah, twin, I know she held you down when you was up, and I know that she gave birth to your kids. But look at her now. She don't even look the same. And it's affecting her confidence. Why should you have to sit there and try to build her up? We could just go find another young girl with no kids who already got the confidence that you want and look as good as you want. We want to be in a relationship but still do single. We confuse compromising with settling. Our standards are based off delusion and Disney movies and The Notebook. We want the most perfect person in the world without acknowledging that we're probably the biggest
So I was celibate for 2 years, and then I met this guy, and we had like an instant connection. Like, it was actually really beautiful. We had sex, we hooked up. Mind you, I was celibate for 2 years, and I decided to have sex with this man, and then he ghosted me. So a week later, I get a phone call from him, and we're talking, catching up, and I asked him, I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm in Miami. I'm like, you're in Miami? Mind you, I live in New York City. And he's like, yeah, I moved to Miami a week ago. I was like, you moved to Miami a week ago? He was like, yeah. And he turned his camera around, and he was in Miami. He was out, and there was a guy in the background that said, is that Natasha? And he was like, yeah. And there was another guy that said, who's Natasha? And the guy that I was talking to said, my girlfriend. And then the other guy said, oh, that's Natasha. And he was like, yeah. And then he said to me, let me call you back in an hour. And I said, okay, cool. That was a year ago. Never call me back. Moral of the story is, there are people that will like you, that will love you, that will adore you, but they can't change their character and they can't change their patterns. And if someone decides to leave your life, let them. Don't cry about it. Don't be mad about it. Don't be angry about it. Just let them go. Because someone that actually truly cares about you will never leave you. Not like that. And apparently I've met a few men like that. But I'm always happy when that happens to me because I never waste a lot of time on them. They enter and they exit.
Please, I would love to know what you think about the question in the comment section. And here's the question: why do you think marriages are no longer lasting compared to how it was in the past? It was the guy that asked the question, and we all heard what the other guy said. I have spoken about this a lot on this channel, and if you've been on this channel for a couple of months, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. This topic, we all know the answer to it. We all know the answer to the question. The problem, we know where the problem lies, and we know what has changed and what is bringing this new dynamic. We all know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Why do you think marriages are no longer lasting compared to how it was in the past?
I think another thing that brings unnecessary heartbreak is believing you're the exception. Okay? That will get you heartbroken. You're gonna crawl under a bed and never want to come back out. Do not believe you're the exception. As hard as it is to believe, people don't see you as you. People don't see you as you see yourself. They just see you as a checkbox. Sometimes they see you as a number to fulfill in their stupid ego. It doesn't matter what it is, how good of a person you are, how you want to force them to see who you are, that they'll change for you. They'll do this if it's you. They'll keep you. That is the worst mindset to inhabit in your entire life. Okay? Thinking you could change somebody is crazy. They're going to change when they want to change. And you telling them that you want them to change isn't going to make them change, because now they see you as an anomaly. You're in their way. So now they may not like you even more than what they already don't like you for. You have to be careful with your heart. It's protect your heart season. It's protect your mind season. It's protect yourself season. And sometimes you got to protect yourself from yourself. You got to protect yourself from yourself thinking, being in a delusional state. Baby, you in the realm. You in the quantum realm. This is not quantum mania. Okay, get back on earth. You shouldn't even want to be with somebody you got to change to begin with. You shouldn't want to be with somebody who makes you think that you're less than and not good enough to change somebody. Because while you over here trying to change a person to like you, to do for you, to accept you, keep walking, babe. There's going to be somebody who you wouldn't even expect to meet, who will accept you just as you are and who will see you for who you are. You'll see them for who they are, and it's going to be an equally yoked situation, not one yoke and zero. Like, it just doesn't work like that. Do not believe you're the exception. You see something, believe it, and move accordingly, okay? Peace, love, and applesauce. Bye.
Y'all, I'm the sneaky. Let me tell y'all what I did. So I have two phones. And I went to my man's house yesterday. I made sure I brought the other phone. I set the phone up under his bed. FaceTime myself. I made sure the phone was fully charged and everything. I FaceTime myself before I went home. Set the phone up under his bed. While I was on for 10 hours listening to every conversation this man had, what he was saying on the game, everything. Just know when I get my phone back, I'm going to beat him to a pulp. I'm going to beat him to a pulp. This is talking to three. Miss Anastasia. The other one is Natalia. And I don't care. He don't have TikTok, so it's really good. It's really good. I put the settings to where when I call FaceTime myself, it answers. So I'm gonna try it again tonight, but I don't know if the phone is dying. I have found my iPhone, so we're gonna see what percent it is, but all I know is I hung up when it got to 10 hours because I went to sleep and I didn't want the phone to die. While he was on the phone, I didn't know the name at first. He was on the phone. He like, oh, I miss you. When you gonna come see me? Just left your house. Why the ask another she gonna come see you? So while he was saying this to her, I text him. I'm like, what you doing? When I tell you he put the phone on mute, and he gonna stay in his game headset like, damn, I can never do nothing. This always know when I'm talking to. So you telling me it's been multiple times that I have texted you and you was talking to her?
If you would love to listen to the rest of our conversation, head over to her TikTok page. She also does have an update on the story. She did confront the guy about it at some point. Men really do have patterns, behavioral patterns when they are cheating. If you pay close attention, you would pick it up. And these changes are usually very significant. You can see it if you're paying close attention. They do have patterns.
What you men fail to realize is, most of the times women catch y'all in y'all is because you messed up your pattern. Your pattern. Men do not realize how much women pay attention to the little stuff. How you communicate, how you talk to me, how you act when you're with your friends. But the moment that pattern is the moment you messed up completely. Because what the acting different today for? You doing something, and I'm gonna catch you the next time, or I'm finna get your ass this time. Do it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you acting different today out of all days? You've been acting good. I've been thinking it's too good to be true, but today you're acting weird. Why?
Women of this generation are very bold, very audacious, very vocal, and they are not taking BS from men. And this is the main reason why marriages are no longer lasting as it did in the past. In the past, women of the olden days were seeing all them flaws, but they couldn't do much about it because they were restricted. They were forced to swallow it in and stay put in that unconducive situation. But of course, we know what has changed. Women are more independent and money gives power. That is why we're seeing this shift, this huge change in dynamics, and women would rather stay by themselves than be in a relationship to serve a man and get maltreated by the man they are also serving. If you would love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch women regret excusing men's bad behaviors and ignoring red flags in relationships, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.